Progress.
So, do you see my split screen? Somehow? Yes? Okay, great. Just trying to record in a better quality than the episodes before that. So, you just received an email about 1.27, which was live for a few days, but I wanted to be sure all bugs were ironed out. So we mostly already saw everything that was into this release last week and the week before, but I will show you nonetheless some new things. First thing is this release includes notifications. So next time you launch the app, it will ask you for the authorization of notifications. Right now, notifications are only used to tell you if a practitioner or a client is updating an exploration. So it's only in the case of several people on the same exploration. So typically a client and the practitioner. But we are on the almost done in the clinic mode, which allows several practitioners to share the same clients and to work on the same explorations and to work in a collaborative way. So notifications was now necessary to implement so that we can actually send messages from in-app, so like a chat, like WhatsApp or things like that, to know that who did what on a certain exploration and to send some things between practitioners. So the whole idea is to be able to work like a clinic or like a group with the same clients. So these notifications are now active and it's just the beginning, but it will be really useful also for live live flow that is not yet active but will be active in a few versions probably, where you can change things into the app and see it live on your screen and on the screen of your counterpart. So for instance, if you ask your client to do a recording, you would receive the recording live on your screen instead of right now you have to close the exploration and open it again. At that point, it would sync it on the server. So right now, if you are with a client and you ask him to do a new reevaluation, for instance, you have to save it on the cloud. The client opens it, does a reevaluation, saves it, and at that point you have to close it and to reopen it. It will sync with the cloud and you will get the news. So it's not ideal. So in the definitive version, which will come in a few versions, you will get a notification that your client just updated a new reevaluation, and you will get it directly streamed on your app. So you will not have to close it and reopen it again to sync it, which of course it's much better. You would also be able to do a live exploration of your app, of your a live browsing of your exploration. So the idea is that when you change a page or when you go to a particular analysis screen, your client would be on his own app and would see the same screen as the one you are looking at live from your conversation. So if you combine that with any video or audio call, you can, when this function is live, you will be able to really do some one-to-one explanations in a very convenient manner. Right now, what we have is the ability to add screenshots. And when you add screenshots, you have this new play button here. And when you launch the play button, it would play all the screenshots that you do in the different parts. So you can go on any part and you can just click on the screenshot button. At that point, you can start editing it and adding some comments, for instance, like that, and adding some text and saving it. And you can either directly share it on social media or on messages or WhatsApp or anything, or you can just leave it in the report or edit it again. When it's here, you see it's directly accessible as a list of screenshots. So you can access it and re-edit it and change the text and so on. But you can also find it on the PDF report. And so you can take some screenshots, add some comments. It will be added to the report automatically, and you can then export the report as PDF and send it to your client. But these reports are also synced with our cloud. It means that if you save the exploration to the server and you send it to your client, he will have the same button here and the same play button on the home page. So you can already do a kind of guided visit of the exploration for your client if you want to highlight some specific points of the analysis with this kind of things. So I think it's very nice for you as a practitioner to be able to add some value and to explain things in such a dynamic way. It's also possible to, soon, it will be possible to see these screenshots directly from the web. When you share a report, so you share with an invitation code, for instance, you click on it, and now you know you have this magic link that is now active. It means that you can just send this URL in any way to the client. When you send the URL to the client, it will open directly the app and load directly the exploration into the app in one click. So it doesn't have to enter anything. It just have to click on the link. But if it doesn't yet have the application, it will open a web page with a preview of the report. And this preview could be made with these different screenshots. Of course, it would be anonymized so that there is no name for the client and so on, because it would be accessible with just this link. But it would be a very nice way to entice the user to install the app. And we could have the same with the Harmonic Boosts, because if you go on a public Harmonic Boost, you can also share it. So in the next version, you will have a share button here, which will be much more convenient, of course. But if you have made a program and you want to edit it and you put it unlisted, you have this invitation code. And again, you have the same system. You can just send this short URL and it will open the basic program with anyone that you send the URL to. And if they don't have the app installed yet, it would open a preview on the BioCoherence.net website, a preview of the basic program with the same image and the same button to play the harmonic boost and some information on who created the basic program and so on. So I think it's very nice because you will be able to share with anybody whether they have the app or not. With just a link, for instance, now you will be able to share a whole harmonic boost. Speaking of a whole basic program, sorry. Speaking of basic programs, okay, am I jumping with the new beta version or not? I am. Okay, let me just say a word about this. So in the latest beta version, when you open a harmonic boost, the real-time boost, the real-time boost is until now is live generated. So on some of the older devices or not powerful enough devices, you have some weird sounds that could happen, like cracking sounds or things like that, because the device are not powerful enough to generate in real time all the frequencies. So this is a problem that we already solved with the personal guide, because now the personal guide is entirely pre-computed. It means that when you play the personal guide, you can switch off the screen. The frequency will play in the background, the voices will play in the background, and the bubble noise, everything is pre-computed. I couldn't do it yet for the harmonic boost because it had some specific challenges, but I'm happy to say that it's now in the way for the next version. So it's already available in beta. Of course, the beta is only for Windows and Mac and so on, so it's not so easy to test on a mobile phone. But I've tested it on iOS, and now when you click on play from the Harmonic Boost, it will play it will play pre-computed audio files. Why? Because it allows you to switch off the screen to have uh, um, on the mobile device, you have an off-screen player with the logo and next, previous, and so on. So this is now integrated with the Harmonic Boost. It means that if you switch off your screen and you switch it on again, you just have the lock screen with the player, like Spotify, for instance, and it will say Harmonic Boost, large intestine, dear tick, for instance, because this is a currently playing program. So you will know what is currently playing, and the major benefit is that it will play the full length harmonic boosts, of course, instead of the reduced length harmonic boosts that you can have when you do the MP3. Because when we do an MP3, we are limited to approximately 20 minutes. Otherwise, the files become too large and the app crashes. So we had to reduce the length of the export because of that. So it's still, even if it's 20 minutes instead of 60 minutes, for instance, it will still include all the programs of your Harmonic Boost, but it will be shorter. Whereas now, when you play the Harmonic Boost, you can play the 60 minutes on any device because everything will be pre-computed. So it will also be a big advantage to play the Harmonic Boost within the app, the app, instead of playing just the MP3. So this is coming for the next version, and it will be really nice. And it will also allow us to have the Harmonic Boost pre-computed available on the preview screen. So if you share this invitation code with a user, when they click on this link, so biocoherence.net/open/big something and something, if they have the BioCoherence app on their device, it will immediately open the basic program on this screen. But if they don't, it will show a preview screen directly in the browser with the ability to play the Harmonic Boost if it's already computed. So I think it's also very nice to be able to have a preview of everything you have in the app, and it will be directly integrated. And of course, there will be a button to tell the user that they would have a better experience if they install the app. Yes, Frederic.
Question, if so then like I sometimes play the harmonic boost and I get some gaps and I get some crackling sound.
Yes, that's it.
It means it's trying to play it live but not computing fast enough.
Yes,
So
exactly.
maybe I should play the MP3 rather than the.
Or you should just wait for the next version, which will solve this problem. Because in the next version, it will probably come fast enough because I want to release this function only, so not 10 different functions, which of course is not true. And at the end, there will be 10 different functions, you know me. But I'm just trying to release this feature quickly because it's really important and it was a big work. And now that it works, I want everybody to be able to use it quickly. Mm.
But why is it better to play it live than to play it pre-recorded?
Uh, One, because it can be longer, so it can be the full 60 minutes instead of 20 minutes, for instance. Second, because we will include some additional functions when you play it live. For instance, the ability to drive our new microcurrent device that will come in a few months in real time. So it would deliver microcurrents on your skin according to the currently playing programs, which will be nice. And another function would be also to have some live biofeedback of your programs. So for instance, you could just hold the sensor or have a different way of measuring things during the playback of your programs. And so if you go here, for instance, you can play the MP3 and it would just play the MP3 like an MP3 player without any interaction. But the real-time boost will allow more real-time options like live biofeedback or live microcurrents therapy, for instance.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So at the end, it's meant to be played in real time, and the MP3 are more made as a convenient way to share them with users that don't yet have the app, for instance. That's somehow the way of doing it. By the way, if you are doing an MP3 on a public program or on a exploration for a client, it is uploaded to the server and downloaded by your client when they open it. So they don't have to compute the MP3 because you already did it. It will be sent to the client along with their exploration or when they open the basic program. So it's really straightforward. Is that clear for you, Frederic?
Thank you. Yes, excellent.
TJ, you
Yeah,
had a
I
question?
get it. In the meantime, maybe I just put up with the crackling a little.
Yes, or you just click on generate the MP3 and you can just do the MP3 for you and play the MP3 directly.
Yeah, it's just sometimes it takes a while to get into the program, open it, download it, choose when it's the MP3. I export it to my email or something, and
Yes.
I just click on it, and it plays right away.
You can do that. And one of the things I want to enhance is the ability when you have here something ongoing. You know, if you have an ongoing exploration, you can just click directly on Harmonic Boost. And if you have some MP3, they are already ready here. So in fact, in 2 clicks, you are ready to play your Harmonic Boost. So it's not so complicated, I think.
Yeah, I had a little trouble to prepare. Christine asked me to do an update on my previous scan,
Yes,
but since you put the button choose,
yes,
I click on the last one,
yes.
don't get a chance to do a scan over that.
Okay, so let me show you. When you open an exploration and you want to add something to this scan, you can just click on the record button that is here in the middle.
I don't have that.
Maybe you don't have the latest version. Maybe you have to update your version.
Yeah, maybe that's why. I don't have the red button either.
Yeah. So the red button is only here if there are some screenshots.
Okay.
And this one is to add a new reevaluation. So you have it at several places. You have it here on the right of Analyze. You can also use the new record because it's opened. So if you click on new record, it will add a reevaluation on the current exploration.
Yeah, that's what it did last time, but this time it didn't do it. So I just created a whole new recording.
Okay. And you can do it on progress. Here you also have a button to add a reevaluation when you click on this plus and this record button.
Oh, okay, I see. Okay.
And lastly, you have a fourth way to do it is to click on the battery button of the Bluetooth, because when you click on this, it will directly connect to the sensor and launch a recording.
Oh, very cool.
You know, on that last screen,
Yes.
your sensor comes up, it'll show you the white box. You have to click on the white box, at least on the PC. Because if you don't do that, it just sits there and says, okay, I got the sensors ready. When do we start?
Okay.
If you don't, okay, maybe maybe check that with the latest version, and maybe it's a problem with the specifically with the PC. It's possible.
Or it's because you've had multiple sensors connected on the same device and
it's also a possibility.
No, I've only got one sensor connected on it. I may be selling sensors, but I have only opened one box for me. So it's not multiple sensors. The sensor has connected to multiple devices, but not at the same time.
So I'll check on Windows if there is something strange happening. Okay.
I was going to say that on the phone, when I'm in the app and I'm trying to go and back to the screen, I think the back button is in the upper left corner.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Sometimes that's like missing off my screen and I'm not able to hit it. And I have to go out of the app and go back around. So maybe that's just like an adjustment.
So this button is not working on your phone, you mean?
Right.
Okay.
Like it's like I think it's like coming off the screen too much.
Ah, what?
I'm not hitting it, so I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or if the screen is just
maybe it's miscalibrated for your device. So if you can just send me a screenshot of your device.
So that happens, a screenshot. Okay.
Yeah, I'll try and fix it.
On that subject, on mine, the back button never lights up. I know where it is, so I click on it and it works, but it doesn't actually light up.
Okay, very strange.
Yeah, let me see if I can. Yeah.
Please also send me a screenshot.
I'll send you a screenshot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could
Yes.
I ask something about the for in problem, recommendation, and the new just click add a screenshot's great, but like sometimes that it doesn't, when it takes the screenshot, it doesn't show what the actual, challenge is. Okay, and I was wondering if you could put the add file button back in, because that way I can do on an iPad or a PC. I mean, I know how to do a screenshot. That way, if it's add file, then you actually get to see what the challenge is or what's not responding. Like, maybe.
Okay, so what's missing from the what is missing from the screenshot?
Well, when I do go down to the bottom, problem, recommendation, and then, click on add a report or bug or whatever it is, right? And then the screen pops up. You do have to type something in the comments. Okay, that's fine. And then it will show add screenshot, the big long line. Okay, well, that's fine. You click, you push on that, and then it goes back to the module in question, but it doesn't take the screenshot doesn't capture or show if it's something that's not, that's not displaying right, the screen is not drawing right, or an image is off screen that you can't see.
Okay, okay, just from my understanding, are you telling that about the tickets or about the screenshot?
Yes, the ticket.
The tickets. Okay. Then you can just answer to the email with another screenshot if you want.
Okay, so an email, okay. So just send it to MD, okay.
Or you can probably, because when you do that and you problem, okay, you want to add a screenshot, it would take everything like that. But if something is missing, you can just sorry, you can just remove the screenshot. If you want to send it without a screenshot, you can send a request, and I believe you can just add a file. Yes, you can.
I'm looking at BioCoherence right now, and I don't think I get to see that.
Okay, so maybe it works differently on a PC. That's a possibility. And by the way, you saw that you now have access directly to the screenshot in the title of the zone where there are screenshots. So this is not for the ticket screenshot. This is for the explanation screenshots.
Right.
They are just here.
Okay, yeah, because I'm not seeing that right now. I've got type in there. Okay, so it just says add a screenshot, send your request.
Yes, and send your request without a screenshot. And at that point, you can input something else.
Okay, there it is. Okay, I
Okay.
got it. Thank you. I've got several bugs on the iPad that we need to.
Okay, so you just send your request without the screenshot, and you have the way to send a file here.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Laura. Oh, Frederic, I don't know.
Sorry. Yeah. It's sort of on the same subject. I don't know if it is exactly the same, but it was interesting that on my last scan, I have priorities and resources. And when I go into priorities, the first priority is my hip joints, and it's full energy and a little bit chaotic.
Okay.
And then underneath, lower down, it says gallbladder, and it's a resource. So I'm finding many, I guess they would be biomarkers that are actually resources in the priorities.
Yes.
I'm a little confused about why they're there if they're in the resources, if they're a resource.
It can happen because it can be
Yeah.
How to explain it? It can be something that you need to work on anyway now.
Okay.
And it can be shown as a resource, but maybe it's not the most important resource, which would show here into the resource tab.
I see. Okay.
So maybe, for instance, for this recording, the resource is the track here,
Yeah.
but it should not probably be in the priorities, where you could have something that could be also a resource, but a less potent resource, and something you would need to work on.
Well, what do I work if it's already a resource? How do I work on it? It's fully energized and just a little bit chaotic. So what does one do? I guess
It might be that it's
in the harmonic boost would take care of it.
yeah. I don't have a definitive answer. I should check your exploration to see if I have an idea about that. But definitely you can have priorities that are in pretty good shape, but needs to be worked anyway.
I see. Okay. So that's something that we do, not the app. We would have to go into it and see what to do with it.
It was automatically computed, or did you add them?
No, I didn't add. No,
No,
it was
okay.
automatically.
Yeah. So yes, the algorithm for the priorities has deemed them as decided that it was something important to consider now.
I mean, just on that, because I'm trying to understand how it works. So hips, there are two hips, right? Now, what I had a lot of trouble with my left hip a couple of years ago, and I had it replaced. So I have an artificial hip. So it must be reading the one that's still a real hip, right? If it's saying that it's a priority, it's a priority. Like, because
I'm not sure we have left and right hips. Do
no, you just have hips. That's
Yes.
what I'm saying.
Okay,
In
so
reality, we have two hips, so we don't know if it's referring to the left or right. But in my case, it must only be the right because the left is an artificial hip.
yeah, I'm not sure. Um, it's the same for it's the same information that we have for both hips.
So it would be the same for both eyes, both ears. It's because there may not be the same problem in an organ.
Yes, but we don't have
Like
we have some laterality, but not for the eyes. We have laterality for the nerves, I think, for instance.
you have what?
We have some laterality for arteries, bones, sacrum, epididymis.
But do you have left and right?
Yes. If you just if you just pick a priority and you enter a keyword, for instance, right,
Oh, cool.
you can
Okay,
see
that's what-
everything that is on the right. So we have some laterality, but not for so many things.
Okay, got it. Excellent. Thank you.
Who had a question? Laura, I think.
I've had some
Hey.
trouble with my computer one, but I looked while we were talking or while you guys were talking, and I still am at 1.26 instead of the 2.7. So what happens is like when I have my a couple of scans I've done, it's the harmonics is showing up as 0, and then I have it like recalculate, and then it goes through and redoes it, and it comes out fine. I was just saying that there might be a glitch, but it's probably just because I have not been able to update my computer app yet.
Okay, so it's interesting you say that because one of the things that I've added in 1.27 is that now when you save on the cloud, it will save the complete file instead of trying to make it as short as possible, so that it saves all information about biomarkers. Before that, when you send something to the cloud, it would save only resources and priorities, and that's why some of the curves were not complete and some of the information was missing, and you had to recompute it, which is fine if you have only one scan. But if you have a client who does 10 reevaluations, it can really be long. So now I've decided that it's not such a big problem if the file is a bit bigger, but it's a big advantage if you can open it and work on it directly with all the columns filled. So this problem should be a problem of the past now. It means that when you work locally, you should anyway have your information, but when you exchange file with the clients, now it will be also kept in a complete state so that you have everything and you don't have to recompute. So if you ever have to recompute, you have these buttons to recompute at different stages. But the last one, which is recompute all sections when you need the progress and the flowers and so on, can be quite long. So no, you should not need to do it unless you open some very old reports or things like that.
I also noticed that the harmonics are transferring over to the phone from my scan to their phone, like super quick now. So that's wonderful. to
Yes.
see.
Yeah.
Everything really seems to be flowing now.
Yes, and that's the point. The harmonic boosts are sent to the cloud. The screenshots are sent to the cloud, and the next step, which will come a little bit later, is that you could have everything in real time with your clients, which would be really nice. Right now, you still have to reopen the exploration, but I'm happy to learn that it flows nicely for you because that's the goal.
It is. It's great. Thank you.
Cool.
Michael, Médéric, can I ask something?
Yes, please.
I love the test list, so it's easy to understand that if you, for example, test vegetables and fruits, that you see what is good for you, what is not good for you. So green, high level means high percentage means very good for you, and red is not so good for you. In my case, garlic was not good for me, which was funny because I love it, but that makes sense to me. And Mo, my main question is, I had a situation in France where we went as a holiday 2 weeks ago with an older friend, and we did her scan with the stimuli, and we did it for the last list. You know, there's 240 things you can things. So the last stimuli test, and the last this list is full of sickness. You know, things like whatever. Afflection or you name it. And I tested the lady, and she's 87 years old, and she's electrosmog sensitive. That one, yes, the last one.
Mm-hmm.
And she has a high percentage in red. So I understand that what is good for me is green. I understand that.
Sorry. Is it the pre-evaluation like that, or is it the thumbs up or down?
No, this one.
So okay, so this is just to be clear. This is the pre-evaluation that is computed from all the stated effects. It means that, for instance, if you are well, it takes into account everything that is here. If you want to do a one-to-one test, a biofeedback test, you can just check the items you want to test and perform the individual test. And at that point, it would send the frequencies and see how your body responds and give you a thumbs up or a thumbs down.
I know.
Yeah. No, I'm just stating it again for the video.
Yeah, but I know this function, so I can make a particular test on particular things which are very important. But I want to understand if you have this. I mean, this is more like you did a scan and you know the results of your client, and now the system looks up how the situation of the client is and makes some numbers. For example, this one. For example, this one. I want to understand what does it mean if it's green and what does it mean if it's red?
Yes, it's a very good question. So what I see is that I didn't put it yet here, so it would be a good idea to put it here. But if you go to, I don't know, any biomarker, and you click on frequencies, you have the same list here. And so if you want to go to, what was it? Parasites? I'm not sure. Here you have some explanation, not recommended, not needed, and so on and so on. Low impact, you see. So I think this text is very useful here and would be very useful on the page we saw before because it's the same evaluation. This one comes straight from the list. So this is the same. So you see, for instance, this one has a medium impact at 62%. So if we go back to the list and we go back to the frequencies and we go back to stimulus and it doesn't work anymore. So what's happening?
You're not on stimuli. I think you have to go to stimuli.
I was frequency. Okay. Ah,
Here we go.
yes, but it doesn't show anymore. So what's happening? Okay, let me just maybe close it and open it again. Or maybe I just broke something because, of course, I always do the live with my development version, which is full of bugs. No, we don't have it. Okay, let me just relaunch it.
I mean, sometimes, you know, clients ask, oh, it's red. What does it mean? You know? And
Yes,
you're like,
yes. So anyway, the explanation is here, and it would be a good idea to add it into the list. It's the same explanation as you can see here. So if it's green, it has an interesting impact. If it's red, it doesn't have an interesting impact for you because all the stated effects that are related to this particular stimulus are in the good direction. It's green, sorry, and if it's not in the good direction, it's red. So basically, this algorithm just, for instance, let's say that this one should increase the energy of your brain and decrease the energy of your liver. If the energy of your brain is low and the energy of your liver is high, it would be green because it would be good for you because the stated effect says that it would lower what is high at your place and it would enhance what is low at your place. So in this case, it would have a good impact and it will show as green. Okay.
Yeah, it's actually it's the same like vegetables or fruits, only that this is a different situation here because I did a scan on myself and the answer was if we give you a lot of money, you are happy. It was really funny. But yeah, it is, you know.
Okay, but
So
is it true? Okay. Okay, so it's a good idea to add this text in the list so that it's more clear in the list. So I will write that.
To continue on the list there, so if the words are in red, I don't have the little arrow, but like, for example, I'm looking at ginger on my scan.
Yes.
And there's a place to tick. What does that mean? That it's included or it's
No,
not?
it means that you can now test it in biofeedback. So you can check it. Let's try again to see if I have
List, it's in lists, yeah.
No, I don't have it. I don't know what's happening. Oh, okay, now I have something. So when you check here, it means that you can test it with the button on the bottom. And it would
scanner?
Yes, it will scan you for these different items and it will give you a thumbs up or a thumbs down.
Live? You do it right there?
Yes, this is called biofeedback, and it's an additional information to actually tell you if this particular item is good for your system or not. So you can
it in red.
Yes, you can know if something is red, it means that the system, given the stated effect, the system says that it's not needed for you. And if it's green, it says that given the stated effect, it's good for you. Okay, but you can confirm it by just checking the different items
Not the text.
and clicking on perform the test now. And at that point, you will have a live biofeedback test that will say, okay, it's theoretically good for you. And when we test it, it's your body says that it wants these frequencies. Or maybe it's theoretically good for you, but when we send these frequencies to your system just has a lower energy as an immediate response. So in this case, you would have a thumbs down. and it would say that these particular frequencies are not do not have a good response for your system.
Médéric, can you increase the screen or share it so it's big for us to see?
This one?
Yeah,
Yes, but I have to fix the problem.
I'll
So
make it full zoom screen. It's just in your little box.
But even that's an issue. Even on my full screen, it's very small writing. I can't read everything. Is there, that was going to ask if there's any way to zoom into our own screens because it's light gray on white and with one eye that
this screen?
doesn't read very well.
This screen?
It's really hard to read some of the text.
You can just pinch, zoom into it, or zoom into it.
It doesn't zoom. Let me try. I mean, I go on
I
my
think you have to
screen,
put it
and it
into
never, huh?
Okay, so
I think
maybe if I do that,
speaker.
let me
There.
just
See,
try
now
and do
when
that.
talks, then you can see the full
Yes, but
screen.
now I don't have your so it's not
If you go on your screen, it doesn't zoom in and out.
okay.
I think this is only an issue because you're displaying it in a different way.
Yes. So maybe next time, I would have to just make it smaller and bigger on the screen, something like that.
Well, usually when you would do it, when you shared the screen, it would become, the whole screen would be you and we would kind of disappear.
Yes, but we had a problem managing these videos before because so I'm trying this time to have this layout so that it's nicer on the final video. In fact, that's the idea.
Okay.
By the way, I want to show you something that is really nice too. So let me just try a new window and try to put it on this call. How do I do that? Yes. Okay, so now you see the screen. So as you can see, I've changed a little bit the website. Now the first thing is called Learn because it's much nicer than before, especially for the what we called before the webinar, which is now called the weekly Q&A. And you will see something quite amazing. You can now ask any question and it will pull the answer from the now 35 webinars that we had. So for instance, let's type export for FireRay, enter, and you get the first answer, for instance, how can I export Harmonic Boost and so on. And you have a text coming from the video, and you can directly play the 34th webinar at the time where the answer is given. So this is something we discussed about last week, I think. The fact that we now have 35 different webinars, and it's quite impossible for people to just look at the 35 webinars and learn everything. So if you go to the website and you just ask a question under the user webinar, which now should be called weekly Q&A, of course, you can just ask any question and pull back anything that we have said in the last 35 webinars and in all the coming webinars too.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So if you want to know, for instance, how to create a list. No, c'est bon. You just have a lot of different webinars, for instance, the 21, the 11th, the 5th, the 24, the 15, and so on. And how can I build a custom product list in BioCoherence, for instance, you will just click on it, and it will just play it at 35 minutes, 34 minutes, 35 seconds, because this is the time where when we
And when you have the
playing this-
actions for pre-evaluation, you can just get a percentage of adequation with the scan of the customer. So if
So I think it's a very, very convenient way of browsing into our big Q&A. So please use it and tell me if it's useful, and if you can just find some forgotten information from that.
It's amazing.
I think so. We have, I think, 680 question and answers that we have pulled from these webinars. So it's already a lot of information. And it will be directly accessible from within the app too.
Can we have it plugged into our brain like in the Matrix? Get everything?
Speak, Frederick. No, speak.
Yes, Dan?
Leon has his hand up first.
Yeah, okay, Leon. Go, Leon.
Or down.
Go ahead.
Come back to me in 5 minutes.
Okay.
My phone's on 1%.
Okay, so Dan, you have a lot of things in the...
Yes, well, like the API, can I type that question into the Q&A weekly? I need I'm gonna start needing the API to interact with the modules in BioCoherence.
Okay, so what do you want to do?
Also like it,
What do you want to do with the API?
well, you had said that we could start modifying, add a separate program to look into, like, I really want to look into the periodic table and do an API to interface with that. You had said that that was going to be an option. Is that still possible, or is that still on the back burner?
So it's possible, but not yet active. So let me see if we have the... No, we don't have it yet. So I should ask, I should add a third entry here, which would be extension modules.
Yeah, because I
Let-
have to get API keys when I'm using my.
It's not really an API. It would be directly integrated into the app, so you don't have API keys. Let me just check if I can show you something about that.
Okay.
So extensions. Where is it?
It's like when I have API read my, to have my AI read my email, I had to get a API to do that, a key. In other words, so I can log into my email.
Yes, but an API would be a little bit different, in fact. This one is more an extension module. So you have this information on how to develop an extension module. So where is it? Okay, so this is still a private page, but I can send it to you.
Yes, please.
So here you have some information where you can just manage your extension module here. You have a few technical information here that you can work with, for instance, ChatGPT or with a developer. It depends on how you do it.
Okay.
And you can then test it directly from within the app. So when you go to manage extension modules, you can start a new module. And in principle, you can call it, for instance, my periodic table, or let's call it Dan's periodic table assessment. Okay. So you would put it in energy, for instance. You would add an image and maybe a video and maybe a presentation. So that would be a kind of app store for the different modules where you can just show what your module looks like. If it's a paying module, the monthly price or the price to buy it. So that would be money that would go to you. And then your source code which is from the documentation. And basically at that point, that's all. So you just would have to develop it in JavaScript. In fact, you don't have to add an API or something like that. And if you go to the documentation, this is it. So this is something that you can give to ChatGPT.
And template modify.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's
So
what I was looking for.
So if you want to just copy this text and you can just say to ChatGPT, for instance, if you want to create it, you just send it this URL and it would read it and it would start developing your module. Or you would just give that to anyone that is able to develop in JavaScript. And that explains how you receive the information and how you send the information back. And then when you activate the module, it's not yet active in the app, so you will probably need to wait for a new version. But in principle, you would go to Energy, and here you would have a new screen, which would be called Dance. How did we call it? Dance periodic table assessments. Okay, so you would have here a new module that would be called Dance new periodic table assessments, and the screen or the content would be generated by your JavaScript code. So it's entirely open to any development from anybody, whether it's graphics or just a list of items or anything. And it would be directly integrated right into the app. So it's still more or less a work in progress. So probably the first modules would have to be developed together because probably you will have some needs that I didn't foresee, and we would have to update the app accordingly and so on. But in principle, when everything is ironed and everything works fine, it's a very good way to extend the app with extension modules and a lot of different ideas. I know Leon has some ideas regarding astrology, for instance, so that could be developed with this logic.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm not exactly ready to do that yet, but this is for the Alchemy group. And I would, before I, give them a final presentation, I want to have, I assumed I needed an API, but what you've said is, that's it.
Yes.
And,
So
before it's ready, and we will definitely get it ironed out, you and me, before I do my presentation.
Yes. So anyway, you would have a new entry here that would be called extension directory or something like that, or extension platform. I don't know. And when you go on it, you would see your image on your presentation. And if you click on install in my BioCoherence, it would just pop up here into the energy tab. You would have a new zone that would be called dance periodic table assessments, and all the content would be generated by your JavaScript function that would be working right from within the app. So there would be nothing going on to the internet unless you need from your JavaScript to pull something from the internet, which is possible. But in principle, everything could be hosted from within BioCoherence.
Yes, thank you. And I will talk to you offline about this because I will be pulling stuff that right now BioCoherence doesn't have, because they're alchemical tinctures that are hazardous metals, but the hazardous metals are made bioavailable, and then it will be based primarily on homeopathic, so that you're not ever really getting a hazardous toxic metal, but your body in theory should be able to say, oh, I like this toxic better than I like that toxic. And when it grabs this the bioavailable toxic, then it will start dumping the other heavy metals. I mean, you can use herbs for that too.
But
So the module that I'd be pulling would be based on Vata, Pitta, Kapha, hot, cold, wet, dry as well.
Isn't that something that you can do with the lists? Because when you create lists, you can also say some stated effects. So if you want to create a new list and you call it dance homeopathy, for instance, and you say it's in energy, let's create it, and then you add a new item. and you call it, I don't know, remedy 1.
Remedy for, yeah, that's what it is.
Okay, and you add some VPK, for instance, stated effects. So this remedy should increase Vata and decrease Pitta and increase Kapha.
Well, that is fine, and I'm aware of that because I find that in the lists, but I want to be able to narrow it down even more.
Okay.
using
So
hot,
if
cold, wet, dry.
if this is a simple effect, you can do it with a list. But if you have some complicated or some proprietary algorithms, it would
Yes.
go into an extension. It's true.
Okay,
Hmm.
that's, yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to take up everybody's time.
No, it's fine because anyway, the extensions should be launched at some point, and before it's launched, I should do some demo extensions with and provide the source code so that everybody could understand how it's done and how it works, and just test them from within the app to see how it works.
You use me as a guinea pig?
Exactly.
Quick question. Is
Yes,
somebody
please.
else have their hand up?
Yes, please go.
So I just tried the testing this individual products, and to my surprise, you know, ginger is a thumbs down in red,
Okay.
but citrus peel is not a green thumb. It looks like two little black things. Is that what the green thumb is?
No, when you have the two thumbs, it means that it's in the middle. So it's not it's neither positive nor negative. It's just average.
Oh, okay. And in the meantime, my progress nosedived.
Okay, but maybe you are not very focused because we are in the middle of the webinar.
Yes,
So
yes, maybe that's what it is. Yeah.
okay, just last thing I want to show you. When you save an exploration and you check save as CAS report, you will now have the option to fill the complete CAS report form. So you save the scan and it opens a new window, which is the case report. And we have started implementing what is necessary to really have a complete case report. So this is still beta, so it's not entirely finished. In the release version, you have the possibility to fill it online or to just ask for an email to fill it later. And you, in that case, you would just receive an email with a link, and you just have to click on the link and you can fill the case report later. But these are basically all the questions that we need to ask to be able to include a case report into an official study. It will also be possible to use this as a platform for research for you if you are part of a group or a clinic or a university, for instance. It will be possible to share these case reports and to download them in an anonymous manner, in an anonymous way, so that you can get your own information for your research. Yes. Okay. So it will come in the next version. The case reports would be probably a little bit different, but in principle, and you can just save it and say something, save information, okay, and then you can go back to it. And when you save it again, you can re-edit it, and you still have your information. So you can update it each time you save the report. It would also, sorry, Anton, I will cut your mic. Yes, okay. Where is it? Yeah, okay. Yes, when you submit a case report, it will also ask for the Anton. Okay. It will also ask for the client to fill the questionnaires and also to fill the questionnaires 6 weeks after the start, because we also need a questionnaire not only Ah, what is happening with Anton?
Okay, also this, you put like,
Can you monitor Anton? No, it's okay. So it will take care of asking the client to fill the questionnaires and so on, so that we have a complete package for the case reports. And it will be really useful when we start validating BioCoherence in a scientific way to be able to publish complete case reports in peer-reviewed journals. So this will come in the next version too. Okay, any other question?
no, just a remark.
Yes.
Médéric,
Yes.
I created two lists for you, supplements. They are public, so you should see them, hopefully, under body.
Okay.
This one.
And
No.
did you just make them public?
Oh, long time ago. Body. If you go to body,
Ah,
check
body.
list.
Yes.
One, yeah.
Okay. And now you see the status. This is also new. The status is more clear and your name too.
Yeah.
And maybe you have to save it as public again because
Oh,
is there,
I've created it yesterday and today I created.
can you save it as public again?
Yes.
And then I should be able to see it.
Yeah, we can check. So
Yes.
I created one a supplement, one for the body who has 15 items.
Okay.
And it's funny, nobody can see it, but
Are you sure it's public?
yeah, of course. It's shared in my system. It's under test lists, list items, body. You found that? Yeah, I created two lists. One is adaptogens, TCM.
You know what? It's possible that while we don't translate it, they are not available to the general public. I have to check that. Evening, I see it. Evening.
Because I love that you guys use it. It's very helpful. Okay.
Okay, so I should definitely see it. So there is something. It's
send
probably
you
because
my
it's not
copy.
translated.
Yeah, I sent you a screenshot of my screen, so you know what's on it. Okay.
Okay, great.
What did you say it was for? Michael, your list, when it says evening, what is the protocol?
The protocol is that the supplements normally you do in the morning. So one list is about 15 items, like astragalus, schisandra, magnesium, and stuff like that. And the other is an evening list for just 2 items, but you have a dosage list. So you have one is 500 milligram, the other is 1000 milligram, and stuff like that. So this is my kind of an invention that you say, okay, I have different dosages each evening. I need something different because the body has another day. For example, today I make a big walk. I need magnesium, and the next day I don't need it because I'm sitting around all day. So my idea is that we are able now to make an evening list. For example, in this case, it's reishi extract and glycine and NAC, which is good for the liver because it creates glutathione. So it's an evening protocol. But I like that, to explore and find things out and try to, find out, or can I use it with this and with this? And to me, it's so impressive how the body reacts, because I have the feeling what I should take. And then I ask the BioCoherence, and the BioCoherence says this, and it's the same thing what I had in my mind. So it's really interesting.
Okay, great.
Thank
So
you.
so I'm sorry, there is a blockage somewhere. So maybe it's because we didn't translate all the titles, etc. right now, and maybe it's a little bit dumb to prevent sharing through professionals if it's not translated. So I will check that, and I will leave this restriction so that everybody could use your list, even if we didn't translate everything. But in a general way, if you do a list and you want to make it public, just send us a little ticket to say, hey, can you translate this list? And we just have to click on a button and translate everything from your titles and descriptions so that it's available in every language. But right now we don't have an alert that you put a list in public. So if you send us a little message to say, hey, I just created this list, can you translate it? Then it's fine. Okay, so I will do it for you. That's great. Thank you.
Leon, have you charged your phone? Good to go?
Yeah, charge my phone now. This is just, I'll just do one quick one. It's getting late. Could we, in the 21-day meditation, put a forward and skipping of days? So, like, obviously, like I said, sometimes it will skip days, or just imagine a scenario where I want to skip a day anyway. So we've got the 21 days. So it'd be nice to have and obviously we've got the morning and evening, so it would just be nice to have a forward day or forward to next session and back next session.
You can just do that. So when you are in the personal guide, you click on preview 21-day program and you see you are currently on day 4. But if you want to go on day 5, you just click on set as today.
You did update it because I know you said you was going to, but I must have missed it when I was listening. Yeah, I must have just missed it. I've not been on every call, so you did update it. All right, wonderful.
So you can just click on set as today on any day that is not today, of course. And if you start playing this one, if you played this one, it would show you the countdown until it will switch automatically to the next day.
Okay, so but what about AM and PM? Because obviously, just show me then what that look. How does that affect AM and PM? Because obviously sometimes you can have. Well, obviously you have.
There is. Okay, there is no management of AM and PM. My idea is that when you play a full meditation, it will switch to the next day 20 hours after the end of your meditation.
No, but sorry, I mean the wake and sleep. So obviously you've got the wake and sleep there.
Yes.
So even though I skip the day, I would then be able to manually just choose and select manually wake and sleep. Yeah?
Exactly. So wake and sleep is always manual. It would not be chosen automatically if it's the evening or if it's in the day. So you have to click on wake and sleep. And then if you don't want to do the day 5 because it's already switched to day 5, you can just go back to the day 4 and set as today. And now we are on day 4.
Perfect. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Okay, let's stop here. Unless you have.
I need to prep for another meeting at 10 o'clock.
Yes.
Love y'all. See you next time.
Okay, thanks. I will start the recording. Unless there are questions or testimonials.
I mean, I won't say that I think one, but since the last update, I mean, it definitely.
Not sure that's for us. Okay, stopping the recording.
Recording stopped.